participants were enlisted to learn a mysterious invented language. Individuals were asked about three pairs of rules. For example, which of these two characters represents an animal. Then after a brief break, they were asked about the same rule pairs with phrases split, as in which of these two rules represents a non-living object. But this game had a secret. The subject answers in round 1 determined the rules meanings in round 2. In the first round, participants either had thought the answers marked as correct, no matter what, or they were forced in fact to fail every question. This meant that at the break, every participant had the same amount of information, and in round 2, they were playing for real. But despite in event playing field, the successful participants from round 1 rose to the top of the ranks, while those classes failed kept well failing. People often describe failures as a teachable moment, a necessary stumble on our way to improvement. But learning from our mistakes isn't always, especially when those failures are demoralizing or downright confusing. So what exactly prevents us from turning our mistakes into mastery? Perhaps the most obvious hurdle to learning from failure is how painful it can be. People generally want to think of themselves as capable and experienced failure threatens them of self-imagined. In the discovery of falling gives an over to failure of book indicates much lower level of self-confidence after participating. It's tempting to dismiss this pain as a temporary setback, but some studies found that people feel demoralized and intimidated. Their brains often stop processing new information. This suggests that if the threat to yourself is larger, it can undermine the ability to learn. However, the tolerance for fear also depends on your relationship with the task. The study from the 2010 Researchers Service, a group of American students are rated in the instructorally the students complete a questionnaire asking what kind of teacher they prefer. One emphasized stress and successes, or one who highlighted their mistakes and corrected their weaknesses. In general, responses showed that while beginner students sought positive revelations, ascendant students were more eager in critical feedback. Researchers have theorized that a handful of expenses those having just started out, beginners are still debating if they enjoy learning French and if they want to continue. So they might create space as a way to stay motivated. On the other hand, the advanced students are already invested, so they want to improve their skills as efficiently as possible. The process of getting in places also comes with its fair share, and also advanced students may have to use a higher tolerance for making mistakes. But wherever you can make mistakes, you're much more straightforward. You can learn from the successes from your peers. For example, imagine getting your grade back on an exam. If you ask it, you can respond as to a good choice when, what, and how much to study, and it can replicate that decision for the next step. But if you fail, it could be for any number. Maybe you didn't study enough, maybe you studied the wrong information, or maybe you did everything right, but the test covered things you couldn't have been expected to know. In cases like this, it's unclear exactly what went wrong, making it difficult to learn to improve. Wanting to learn from your figure is completely natural, and needs a lot of game for being resilient in cultivating on a growth mindset. But fixating on a failure can make it easy to forget all your successes, and building on what you are doing right can be more effective than focusing on what you did wrong. One of the ways we can be unstructured with ourselves is by considering how we talk to ourselves. Self-talk can actually play a major role in performance. Learn the key to doing this right with this video, or get edible science-based advice on the build character at ed.ed.com/build character.